In my last video, I talked to you about judgment. Judgment is one of the most important triggers of defensive reactions and bad feelings in our conversations with others. And today I want to continue that conversation and tell you about another trigger that you should be aware of. If you're seeing me for the first time, hello. My name is Alena Huberova and I'm a communications and leadership coach. And this is my mini series of videos to help you manage difficult conversations better. So today we're talking about triggers. Triggers are important for you to be aware of because first, you need to understand your own triggers in order to manage your reactions better. And second, you better understand what the triggers are because you don't want to trigger other people. That communication is not leading anywhere. So the trigger I want to talk to you about today is reproach. And let me give you some very concrete examples. Some of our old-time favorites. Something that you may have heard in the past in your personal relationships. So the first example would go something like this. You're always working, you're with your friends. You never have time for me. Or, how could you do this to me? Or, you always call me when you need something. Of course. You know, that's the typical mother-in-law statement. Anyway, so this is an example in your personal relationships. Unfortunately, reproach is used a lot at the workplace as well. I'll give you some examples. Jane, you're such a softie. You're always listening to everyone and you're caring so much, trying to address the needs of every single person, but that makes you so weak. You're so indecisive. Or, you're always late with your reports. You are so irresponsible. You don't care at all about the reputation of our department. Yeah, so these are some of the famous examples of reproach. And I think by now you're getting the notion of what reproach is. Reproach is when we try to put the blame onto the other person. Now, why do people use reproach? Well, if any of the stuff that I have mentioned to you somewhat resonates with you, then you will probably understand the reasons. People sometimes want to discredit someone. Sometimes they want to make the other one feel guilty. Or other times they want to protect themselves. Look, when we're under attack, it's so much easier to put the finger out, look for the culprit somewhere and blame someone else, right? Rather than look at our own crap and our own contribution to the situation. But also, reproach is used when we want something from the other. We want them to do something or feel in a specific way, but we don't want to tell them directly. So we use reproach. And my friend, if you have a certain tendency to do that, be aware that that is called manipulation. And that's definitely not a way to go. So reproach in our communication is dangerous. Because as I said, it is a trigger. It triggers defensive reactions in people. People feel offended, they feel hurt, they feel upset. And besides, reproach at the workplace, especially if it is used by the leader, can be super toxic, or rather can contribute to a toxic atmosphere. Because think about it, where if you have a manager who has a tendency to put the blame on other people, then this creates an atmosphere in which people will start to exercise a lot of caution in terms of what they say and what they do. They don't want to stand out too much. They don't want to be the scapegoat. They don't want to be blamed for things. So yeah, reproach is definitely not a good thing to do in our communication with others. What can you do instead? Wow, the first one. I talked to you about it last time. Just look at yourself and look at how you contributed to that problem, to the situation, to the conflict. The second thing that you can do is just realize that no one is perfect. You're certainly not perfect, so you cannot expect that people will be perfect. We are only human. We will make errors, we will make mistakes, we will sometimes do things without realizing the impact. So nobody is perfect. And the third thing is, if you really want to make someone to change their behavior, then tell them so directly. Be a bit more assertive, telling them how you feel and what kind of behavior you would expect them to have, and have a conversation about it, rather than being, going around the bushes and being the perfect manipulator. That's not what we want, especially if you're a leader, because in one way or another, people will see that in you and you will lose all the respect. So reproach is a trigger. Definitely don't use it, because you will trigger people and the relationship could be seriously damaged. I hope this video helps, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.